I wanted to dive in today about three really important key strategies that help us develop strong communication. And when I when I chose to make that shift from working out to working in and coaching more on what's happening within and the stories we're telling ourselves and the way that we are loving and nurturing ourselves, I just really found profound change in my life and profound change in my personal healing journey through communication, through understanding my internal dialogue, my self-talk, where it came from, what that self-talk, in which ways might it be holding me back. Communication, when it comes to my friends and my family and relationships, like all of that, all of the work-ins really promoted more powerful conversations with myself, with others, with my team, with friends, just across the board, right? How we express our authentic truth is just so captivating to me. And so I just think that, yeah, speaking your authentic truth and speaking your voice and unleashing that is very powerful, but it's also really challenging. I know because I've been there and I've worked with a lot of people all over the world on this as well, right? It's not always easy to you don't just one day decide you want to speak your authentic truth and then do it, right? There's so many layers and so many components. And my friend Deanna uses the word rich a lot when she describes things. So I'm going to say there's a lot of rich elements to communication that we just we get to keep uncovering and keep peeling back those layers. So definitely challenging, definitely not easy, definitely not overnight, but definitely a game changer, because as you keep growing and evolving and changing and up leveling and healing, right, the way you express, the way that you talk to yourself and you express that truth to others changes and evolves. And I just think, yeah, the power of conscious, confident communication is yeah, what I love. And growing up, I was always called the talker, right? And I was the kid in class who was finishing all of my work and then wanting to talk to every kid in the class and share my opinion and talk nonstop. I remember, yeah, my teachers in elementary school would literally put my desk outside because I would talk so much, or in the hallway, or in that pod, which was like that main room that connected all the other classrooms, right? It was like, Lundon's done with her work. She doesn't, she won't stop talking. So we gotta figure it out, I guess. And I remember a teacher telling me that I was going to talk at my own funeral. And as a kid too, I remember being told that I talk really fast. And I definitely did and do sometimes. I think living in Austria, living abroad, talking to a lot of non-native English speakers helped me slow down a little bit in my speech. But I remember my grandma would tell me back in the day when we had voicemails, right? You would like call someone on their house phone and leave a voicemail. And my grandma would tell me, like, I have to go back and listen to your voicemail multiple times because I don't know what you're saying and you're talking so fast and I just couldn't understand you. And so all my life I was this, labeled as this kid who never stopped talking. And then I got the opportunity to work for a company that was called Runtastic in 2012. I got an opportunity to work with them and build their YouTube channel and be the face of that brand and the face of that startup. And I got to speak on stage and speak on camera and speak to others and coach on things and talk a lot and got really good at that. And then I realized through kind of those repeat reminders of the same circumstance over and over and over again, right? This is how the universe lets us know there's something that we get to choose to change if we want to, because we'll see those repeat patterns. We'll see those same scenarios. And so I found myself not connecting through conversation with people that I loved, like family and people I dated and friends. I found myself, in those moments where you really have to look in the mirror a little bit. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of telling everybody what I think they should do and giving unsolicited advice and being loud and angry and expressive and dominating conversation and giving advice where it's not asked, and getting angry at guys I'm dating and getting mad and throwing things and being like, just not connecting, just really trying to convince. And so all the while I was doing these workouts, right? Doing fitness, working out on stage, traveling the world, over 13 different countries, talking on stage, hosting events, talking to people about fitness and health and all of that. And yeah, that was great. But I really realized that the real flex was not just what I could say on stage and how I could articulate a great speech or a great talk or whatever, but was really being able to take those deeply connecting communication skills on stage and take them off stage to my family, to my friends, to the people that I love. And yeah, it's been a beautiful journey ever since. I had to let go of some things. I walked away from fitness. I walked away from all my online fitness coaching, all the different coaching programs and different things I was doing. I just really wanted to step away from just being a talker and really tap into true communication and dive deep into the shadows of myself and help others do that too, and all the family dynamics and just all of it. It just all made sense, right? And what's beautiful is that I've had clients that I've worked with. Some, started working with me after I started NLP coaching and communication coaching and life coaching and all of that. But some have been with me for a long time. Some have been with me ever since I was like 19 years old, started personal training and fitness coaching. And now this natural evolution of the way that I bring my coaching and voice to the world makes sense to a lot of people that have worked with me in the past. And I'm super grateful for that, because yes, we need that element of fitness and physical well-being and taking care of our bodies and sweating and all of that. But then we also need the work-in parts. And I believe that, yes, you need both but one is just not going to work without the other. And now my main focus is on those work-ins. But yeah, really, like I said, it's not easy. It can be a little bit of a challenge to really reclaim your voice and really choose to look in the mirror and say, hey, what am I saying? Am I connecting? Where are these repeat patterns that I'm noticing? And why am I being so overbearing in conversations? Where is this anger and this, let me give you advice and all the things? Where's that coming from? And I love coaching on ancestral speech patterns, because it's such an eye opener when you start to find compassion and love for where these certain communication patterns might have originated from. And side note, a book I'm reading right now is so good. It's called It Didn't Start With You. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I'm going to check my Audible really quick. But what's been really empowering is, yes, there are some things we have to clean up in our own space, right? Of course. But then there are also things, it's called It Didn't Start With You by Mark Wallen. There are also things that maybe didn't start with you. Like maybe there's things ancestrally that have been passed on, patterns, ways that we behave, think, believe, feel, interact, all of that. And so that's been empowering too, to understand, because I'm very hard on myself. That's something I work on regularly. I'm very much like, what's the root cause of this? And if there's a problem, how can I understand the root cause of it? And how can I heal that? And just like, I very much go hard in the paint with the work-ins, and I'm working on easing myself through that a bit more, because it's going to be a lifelong process. But hey, we're all human, right? But just really, taking the time to think, hey, a little self-love and compassion. It might not have anything to do with me. It's just something passed on that I get to choose to metabolize and digest for myself and for those moving forward. So that's been a really good book. I love that book. Highly recommend it. I'm not done with it yet. I think I have like another couple hours of the audiobook left, but it's really good. Really good. One of the things I wrote down some different bullet points. I want to share 3 key strategies to develop strong communication skills, but I was taking some notes and just wrote down some things that I thought were just really helpful in that reclamation process of my voice. So one of the things I wrote down was, I feel like I really used to talk to just take up space without thinking about impact. And so maybe that's something you can resonate with, is like, are you comfortable in that silence? Are you comfortable with a little bit of a pause and not needing to say anything to fill the space or fill the silence or fill the nothingness, right? The nothingness is so incredible and so amazing. And so I just really started to see moments that I could just take a step back and listen more and not need to fill that space. The fear of speaking up authentically and worrying about judgment. That was interesting. I don't know if you guys listening have worked through some healing things where you have this aha moment or this piece of the puzzle that pops up and you're like, oh, that's weird. I would have never thought that that was something I was subconsciously worrying about, but turns out I was, right? That fear of speaking up authentically and worrying about judgment. You would have thought, and I would have thought too, if I didn't have this opportunity to get a better viewpoint of it, like from the outside, it would have looked like, oh, Lunden doesn't give a shit about what anybody thinks. And she's just sharing her opinion and her voice and she speaks up and all of that. But I really got to come face to face with a part of me that was worried about what people were thinking about me and maybe was trying to do the most and do all the things in order to drown out that voice a little bit. So that was very interesting to connect with. And then also, people pleasing is huge, and avoiding conflict and just trying to please others. That can keep us really, really stuck. And this is not something that I really resonate with a ton, being the people pleaser. But I've worked with enough people to know that this is a huge part of what keeps them stuck from sharing their voice. And so maybe people pleasing and avoiding that conflict and feeling like when you express and speak up, that's a problem. Something to really dive deep into as well. And then some big lessons I've learned that I want to share, and then we'll talk about the 3 key strategies. I think all of what I'm sharing now really will bring, the meat and potatoes of those 3 key strategies to life. And so in that shift of going from talker to communicator, there were some lessons and some aha moments. And one of them was learning to pause and listen and speak with intention. I did a Instagram reel about this the other day of, you want to get better at communicating, try not talking, just don't say anything. And really the power of meditation in that, right? Our ability to be in the present moment, listen, pause, take it in. Meditation is so helpful for that because it keeps us in the present moment, not in the familiar past and not in this predictable future based on our past experiences, right? It's not about listening so you can think about what you're going to say next in the future, or it's not about listening and then, thinking about all the past stories of communication and ways that things didn't work out and why this is going to not work out in terms of conversation, right?